Cicero North Syracuse High School, home of the North Stars. Thank you for joining us for tonight's boys varsity basketball contest, featuring the visiting Fayetteville Manlius Hornets and our home team CNS North Stars. All event attendees, including athletes, coaching staff, and officials, must wear face coverings in accordance with the Secretary of Health's Universal Face Covering Order and are expected to maintain social distancing when arriving, attending, and departing our facility. Fan sportsmanship is required by all participating coaches, teams, and officials. Please follow our example and be a positive force for your school and hometown. Let tonight's contest reflect mutual respect. We welcome our guys from Fayetteville Manlius, along with everyone watching this game remotely, and wish all the participants good luck in tonight's game. At this time, if able, please rise, remove your hats. You should place your right hand over your heart for the singing of our national anthem. We're pleased to have a recording of the CNS High School Choir singing our anthem tonight. The CNS High School Chorus. And now for the starting lineups. First for the visiting Fayetteville Manlius Hornets. Starting guard, a 5'10" senior, number 15, James Littell. At guard, a 6'3" senior, number 20, Joshua Michael. At guard, a 5'10" junior, number 22, Luke Davidson. At forward, a 6'7" sophomore, number 23, Trevor Rowe. And at forward, a 6' senior, number 32, Chip Nucerino. The Hornets 11 head coach Luke Tucci. North Star fans, please welcome our starting lineup. Starting guard, 6'3" senior, number 1, Kevin Velasco. At guard, 6'2" senior, number 2, Ryan Bowden. At guard, a 6'4" junior, number 3, Lou Paragon. At guard, a 6'5" senior, number 10, Noah Lysorik. And at center, a 6'6" junior, number 23, Jerron Hills. Our North Star led by head coach Kyle Marcus with Brendan Hayes, left forward Steve Meyer, and John Woolsey. Referees tonight's game, Latif Hinty, Steve Burns, and Kevin Ryan. Please welcome our CNS North Star Varsity cheerleaders also.
Welcome into the CNS Athletics North Star Network. I'm Giovanni Heater alongside Kyle Marshak with you tonight for a fantastic SCAC Metro Division matchup between the Cicero North Syracuse North Stars and the Fayetteville Manlius Hornets. Kyle, what a matchup we have on the floor tonight.
Absolutely. The Hornets trying to keep their head above water at 5-6 right now, 5-5 in the SCAC Metro, looking to get into that winning column before the season ends. It is dwindling right now.
And on the other side, the North Stars sit at 7-3, third place in the SCAC Metro, 5th overall in the conference, and we're underway here under the lights at Cicero North Syracuse High School as the North Stars, with an early turnover here, a rare event as Gerard Hills off to Bonin, just wasn't ready for it, possibly a little pregame nerves, most likely 5 seconds underway, just a little bit of miscommunication.
Hey, I would be nervous with the energy in the stadium tonight. The crowd coming in a little bit and the cheerleaders on notice as well.
For the first time this year, we have a crowd in the CNS gym and an early bucket on the other end of the court for the FM Hornets. The North Stars looking for a response, down 2-0, 7.5 to play. Velasco off to Bonin in the corner. Bonin with a quick trap, a little bit of a zone defense you're seeing out of the Hornets, and they're picking it off is Jack Nucerino. Look for him to be hot tonight, Kyle.
Absolutely. The North Stars forcing the ball a little bit tonight, and that you can't afford to do that against the man defense in the FM Hornets.
Jumper is good, and making it look easy was the 6'7" sophomore forward. It's Trevor Rowe.
Trevor Rowe averages 5 field goals per game, tied with his buddy and counterpart in Luke Davidson. Both those guys get so many buckets a game, and that's only one of the 5 that he's supposed to have tonight. We're only a few minutes in, so the North Stars certainly have to slow things down on defense. They have to be able to control the pace of the game.
And just like that, head coach Kyle Martin already wants to talk things over. Also for the first time tonight, Kyle, we have the CNS Varsity cheerleading squad. Had them here for a couple of the girls' games. Now for the guys, plenty of fans in attendance. It almost feels like normality here, and it's very, very much so something special.
I don't want you to jinx it, Gio, but it certainly does.
Here come the North Stars. Fresh off a timeout from head coach Kyle Martin. The reset. Paragon for 3. Too strong. Back of the rim. No good. Rebounded up there by the Hornets. And they'll move it up the floor. Velasco got screened early as the Hornets move it around. Quick to the tin. The lay-in. The foul. It's good. Luke Davidson, the leading scorer for this FM squad. And again off the timeout, the Hornets sting.
And notice the energy in the stadium, not just for the North Stars, but for the Hornets. Davidson gets down with the bucket, the and one, and he's screaming with his teammates, a bunch of high fives all around.
It hasn't been this loud in here the entire season, and again, it does quiet down for a free throw as Davidson knocks down the first and the only one. 3-point play. And the FM Hornets are up 7-0 just like that. Velasco right wing. Pass inside Gerard Hills, an acrobatic catch back out to Velasco. Now Bonin top of the key. Great communication out of the FM defense, and the energy off the bench is even better. Bonin, deep 2, left it to the left side, way wide. And here comes FM up the court. Pulling up, downtown, triple, no good. And Gerard Hills was there to pull it away. Davidson wanted it. Paragon other end of the floor. Feed inside to Bonin, out of bounds, the ball flies. Last touch by Jack Nucerino will stay right here.
And notice the blistering pace to start off the game for both the North Stars and the Hornets, back and forth. Bonin motioning in that first play where they turn the ball over that he wants to slow things down, and I think that should be the job of the North Stars right now.
Velasco, right corner. And the FM defense noticeably already all up in the hands and the faces of the North Stars. Paragon left wing. Feed inside was Zoric. Tries to go up strong and no good. The North Stars still have not taken the lid off the hoop tonight. A big pull up here off the mark. A confident shot by James Medill. And instead here comes CNS. Bonin at the top, off to Velasco. Gerard Hills the screen. And a foul on the floor. It does go against Medill. Kyle, you almost have to wonder, maybe the North Stars a little nervous here. First time playing in front of a true crowd on their home turf. I mean, there is a different buzz. There's a different energy in here tonight. It's noticeable just a couple of minutes into the game.
Absolutely. I mean, last time in their matchup, it was a 65-47 win in the North Stars' favor. So you have to wonder what changes the Hornets have made, or maybe it is the environment. I think you placed it well.
And an over and back call for the North Stars. Another costly turnover. The Hornets to inbound. It'll be Luke Davidson.
And notice Coach Martin's energy on the bench right now. He is absolutely mad at his players.
Here's Medill running the point guard spot for FM. Medill off the screen. They do like to run that high ball screen. Look for it tonight. Kick out here to the big man, Trevor Rowe. Open for three is Davidson. Left it short. Velasco the rebound. Will get a whistle blown. And we'll head the other way. A foul against Jack Nucerino.
Despite the play, I mean, Luke Davidson, a guy who won't be afraid to shoot threes. He leads the team with 2 3-pointers a game, as well as being one of those guys with 5 field goals a game. So he's certainly there to get buckets.
Paragon left wing. Feed inside, trying to find Gerard Hills, and the defense from the Hornets just continues to swarm and converge on the North Stars.
Absolutely. I mean, Coach Martin gave us some notes on the FM Hornets before this, and he described their defense as extremely tough man-to-man defense. And, Gio, sometimes they transition to that 2 to 3 zone. I don't expect that tonight, though.
Bonin kicks it out. Velasco. Paragon's open for a corner three, and he splashes the net. The first time the North Stars finally find themselves on the scoreboard tonight.
Paragon, one of the better three-point shooters in Section 3 last year. He started cold this year, but man, as his game developed, and his three-point shot is absolutely deadly.
Now here comes FM looking for the response. Medill, corner triple, off the front of the rim and out. Bonin running the floor for the North Stars. They have a 4-on-3. Feed inside, Wazorik kissing it off the window. Textbook transition basketball, Marshak.
A little 1-2-3 feed, and Wazorik finishes. That's a textbook play, as you mentioned, right there for the North Stars.
Trevor Rowe thought about a three. Wazorik's there with a hand in his face. Off to Nucerino. Davidson a drive. Kick out, top of the key. And Davidson ends up with it once again. Going at Bonin. Tried to find Medill. Good defense out of Velasco. Medill still ends up with it nonetheless. Down to 5 seconds in the shot clock. Good possession for the North Stars defensively. 2-1. Out of bounds the ball flies. And that is a fantastic defensive output for CNS.
What a stop right there. Just lockdown defense. Bonin was there. Paragon getting a steal at the top of the key, although Davidson cleaned up his own mess and then penetrated. And that's the thing, is these guys have not been penetrating in the beginning of this game. They've been hitting shots from the outside, Gio. They work off of that high ball screen and get those open shots, and they won't be able to drive on the CNS North Stars. They are so good at defending those lanes to the rim.
Velasco, spin move, tried to get it in the hoop. Whistle's still blown. He will shoot two. I think the roof might have exploded off this place if he converted the and one.
Stole the words right out of my mouth. That would have been a bucket to tie it, and then, of course, the free throw to take the lead.
Nonetheless, Velasco will have a chance to tie this one up at the charity stripe. North Stars were so good from the free throw line a game ago, or 2 games ago, I should say, last time around in this building right here in the CNS Gymnasium. Unconscious from the charity stripe, and here it is on display again. Kevin Velasco goes 2 for 2 from the line. We're all even at 7, Marshall.
Well, we should expect that of Coach Martin's squad. He's very demanding of his players, and some of the small things definitely have to fall into place in order for them to succeed the way they have thus far in this season.
Nucerino a drive. Kicks it out, Davidson. Bonin's there defensively. Trevor Rowe pulls up, dials it up downtown, rattled off the rim, no good. Paragon the rebound. Bonin other end of the court. Kick out Velasco. He wants 3, left it short, and the rebound is there for Luke Davidson. Up the floor come the Hornets. Isaac Frechette a drive. Corner 3, and a stroke of the net that time by Joshua Michael. 8 points per game on the season for him. The 6'3" senior had another big one.
Yeah, Michael averaging 8 points per game as Paragon puts one off the backboard. I mean, he's definitely one of those role players, considering Davidson and Trevor Rowe's presence thus far in the season, both averaging almost 12 points per game. So they really need that supporting cast in order to win the way they have.
Trevor Rowe a drive, kick out Davidson, corner 3, and it's good again. Back-to-back triples for the FM Hornets, and with 2.5 to play, FM got that big response.
Man, I mean, we're only a few minutes into this game. My jacket might be coming off. It's been a back-and-forth matchup and a lot of shots from deep for the FM Hornets.
Bonin now from the top. Paragon. Over to Wazorik, left wing. Wazorik, a tough drive. Tried to lay it in and left it short, touching off the front of the rim. 2 minutes left to go in quarter number 1. Trevor Rowe feeds it off to Luke Davidson, and the Hornets will slow things down. A screen, a drive from Davidson, great ball movement. Frechette from the right elbow, and he connects.
That's a beautiful play right there. Just drive, dump it off Frechette over around the top of the key, and he hits the dagger. So that's another great display of ball movement as the FM Hornets try and get a steal.
Velasco, feed inside. Hills can't finish. Rebound Rowe. And here come the Hornets. Left side, Michael. Back to Rowe. Coming to the ball is Davidson. Bonin all over him. Screened by Nucerino. Going at Gerard Hills is Davidson, and Hills was there defensively. Offensive rebound Rowe. Frechette lost it in the middle. Bonin up the floor for the North Stars. Bonin going to the tin, a tough fall. Gerard Hills tried to clean up the mess. Despite it all, no whistles are blown, Kyle. Ball goes out of bounds. I believe will stay here, but Brian Bonin can't believe he didn't get a call.
At physical basketball, as he's pleading his case to the referee, I mean, he's like, what did you see there? A couple kids got mauled in the paint, and, you know, no whistles blown. That's a part of the physical play of basketball you get from the CNS North Stars.
Bonin wants three, and the response! Brian Bonin pulls out the crossbow celebration as he goes down the court, knowing that was a big one.
Hey, don't put it in the ref's hands. He hits the dagger from outside. He'll do that all night.
Under a minute to play in the first. FM up 5. Frechette kicks it out. Triple is off the front of the rim. No good. Good rebound by Wazorek. Michael couldn't hit. Bonin up the floor. Fades away. Missed it all. Trying to be there was Paragon. Foul on the floor. It does go against the Hornets. Isaac Frechette, also a star on the lacrosse field, is the guilty man. We will stay here. How about these North Stars uniforms, Kyle? We haven't said it all season. The cursive lettering, I like it a lot.
Oh, yeah, I love the script. I mean, that's all part of the style. The blue, white, and green, the CNS North Stars pride.
Bonin spinning around. 30 seconds left to go in the quarter. Velasco, the floater, and he finds the bottom of the net. Kevin Velasco off the feed from Brian Bonin. And the North Stars converge back on the scoreboard.
There's some better shot selection here. You know, you see that problem sometimes with confident players like Brian Bonin who aren't afraid to force up shots. Electing to just go with the lay right there is Kevin Velasco.
The Hornets with 11 seconds to go. Rowe inside, doing work on Wazorek. Feed instead, and a foul is called. Heading to the free throw line for two will be Joshua Michelle again.
This is just an absolutely blistering pace so far into the game. I mean, and really no fouls, too. It's been a clean game. This is the only way they're going to be able to stop the clock, you know, literally speaking, is getting those fouls called.
So the North Stars will have 6 seconds as Michael misses the first. It remains a 3-point game. FM up 15-12. 1 quarter almost gone.
You have to imagine with 6 to go, the North Stars are going to push the ball up the court and try and get that lay out the back line. If not, they'll hit a dagger from deep.
Michael misses both. Ball still up in the air, and that 6'7" height pays off for the moment. Wazorek's there, up the floor for Velasco, and that will expire the clock. Just a couple too many passes for the North Stars to get a shot off. Trevor Rowe was there to disrupt things down low, and the FM Hornets up by 3. It was an exciting, fast-paced first quarter. Can't believe it's already gone. We find FM with a 3-point lead.
Well, it's not often with a 67.1 point per game team in the CNS North Stars for them to not lead after 8 minutes, but yet here we are, 15-12 lead, and the North Stars have yet to grab their own lead. So you have to imagine what changes they'll make coming out of this quarter. I think, you know, slowing down the pace of the game is certainly going to go into their favor, especially with the way the FM Hornets play.
Now the North Stars seem to come out not necessarily timid, just a little starstruck for a second, and FM came ready to play. You saw them bounce out to an early lead, but then CNS was there to fight back with a response.
Well, the fans surrounding us, the banners surrounding us, it's tough to feel successful in such a successfully packed gym, you know. You see all the banners around us, all the sports teams, all the section titles, and here they are trying to chase their own. Unfortunately, no playoffs this year, but they could certainly fall highly ranked in the SCAC Metro this year at a 7-3 record, looking to extend it to 8-3.
Now some new faces in the ball game for both squads. You see Reese Conjol checking in for the North Stars, and just in front of our broadcasting table, number 13, Christopher Holcraft in the ball game as well, a junior forward for FM. Left wing, it's Michael. Feed to Davidson. Davidson thought about a shot off to Trevor Rowe. Rowe, back to Davidson. Velasco's there with tight defense, trying to create a shot, or the Hornets. Finally, Davidson lets one fly, and patience is a virtue, Marshak, as they connect from deep.
Luke Davidson already tying his total average of 2 3-pointers per game. He's going to be red hot from deep tonight.
Velasco to Paragon. just how the Hornets wanted to start. Quarter number 2 they did with a triple and a patient play offensively. Finding the right shot. Velasco trying to find one of his own. Too strong. Frechette fighting for the rebound and will get a foul on the floor. It goes against the FM Hornets. Tusi can't believe it, head coach of the Fayetteville Manlius Hornets, and will stay this way. Nucerino back into the ball game very quickly. And Paragon gets it up to Wazorek. Bonin top of the key. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Bonin crossover, deep 2, and he hits. Brian Bonin as confident as it gets with a jump shot. Velasco kicking it off the foot of a Hornet, and the referee says we'll go the other way, Kyle. I, again, feel like I want to disagree with that call.
Well, the fans pleading their case, and you have to love the energy in the gym tonight, Gio. Everyone here for their own pride, of course. Maybe a few FM Hornets in the stands, but I can't imagine so with the COVID regulations. So obviously a lot of North Stars pride here, trying to plead their case with the refs.
Nucerino at Conjul. Conjul, great defense, sends it away, pulls down the rebound. Bonin, right to left on your screen, off to Velasco. Conjul, top of the key. Paragon, deep triple, and it's good. Luke Paragon from way beyond the three-point line, and the North Stars force the Hornets to talk things over.
I said the jacket might come off earlier. Now it is. That is a deep shot, and Paragon making a statement play right there.
18-17, the North Stars roar back, down 1. 6:37 left to go, and head coach Lucas Tusi wanted to talk things over for FM. Kyle, jacket comes off to my left. I still have mine on for the moment. We'll see what happens. It's warm in here, though. I think the amount of fans here actually raised the temperature in the gym.
Yeah, no, genuinely, I think I don't mind the heat, Gio. I mean, I don't mind the heat that we're getting on the court right now. I don't mind the energy in the stands, because it means that basketball is in full swing, and next thing you know, football will be approaching. It's just great to see the sports seasons coming around now, Gio.
Ball's inbounded here. Luke Davidson up the floor. The Hornets looking for a little bit of a kickback after a run for the North Stars. Almost a kickball violation. Instead, the Hornets scoop it up off the wood. Drive inside. Velasco's there to pull down the rebound. Samuel Dunn couldn't connect. Wazorek inside. Gets it back out to Velasco, who just traps it before half court. Wazorek, left side drive, rolled off the rim, no good. A tough floater, couldn't connect.
Wazorek couldn't get the roll right there, but he does average 11.1 points per game and 5.2 rebounds, so expect him to force up a little bit more shots on the inside tonight.
Trevor Rowe trying to find a shot. Finds his man in the corner, three-pointers short for Michael, and Wazorek is there for the North Stars. A bucket would take the lead for CNS. Velasco, top of the key, feed inside, and it's swatted away by Jack Nucerino.
The defense is just so fantastic tonight from the FM Hornets. I mean, even the stats prove it. The North Stars average 67.1 points per game, 54.6 for the Hornets, yet both of them average 53.8 points allowed. So that tells you just how good the defense is for the FM Hornets.
Bonin, hand in his face, pulls up, no good. Conjul gets the rebound poked away, but instead it's a 1-on-2 up the floor. Unable to connect is Davidson. Great defense for the North Stars guards, and Wazorek will slow it down. Wazorek, corner 2, too strong. Conjul diving for it. Instead it's Nucerino in transition. Spin move on Bonin. Off the window, no good, but we will get a foul. Jack Nucerino heads to the free throw line for 2 of his own.
It's all part of the FM Hornets play. Obviously, the CNS North Stars don't really allow any driving lanes to the rim yet. The Hornets, they force their way in, they'll draw the fouls, and that's how they get a lot of their buckets tonight.
Nucerino connects with the net for score number 1. First bucket we've seen in a little bit here, and it's going to be a 2-point lead for FM. Nucerino, second off the rim, no good. Conjul, a good rebound. Robbie Seitchin checks into the game for the North Stars. Out to Bonin. Bonin pulls up, launches one from 3. Off the backboard, no good. Seitchin gets absolutely swarmed, gets it away to Paragon. Paragon back to Seitchin in the corner, and the North Stars will settle. Paragon going at the defense, exploiting a mismatch to the rim, but can't finish And the North Stars still come up empty-handed. Wide open corner three off the mark for Samuel Dunn. And here comes CNS. Bonin to Velasco, launching a three and connecting. Kevin Velasco with a big three-pointer there. The North Stars, their first lead of the night, 20-19, 4.5 to go.
Textbook give-and-go screen right there. A huge bucket for the North Stars to take their first lead of the night.
Conjal defense down low, and that's going to be a battle all night. Trevor Rowe and Reese Conjal instead. Conjal the guilty man, second foul. Rowe will shoot two from the charity stripe.
Trevor Rowe listed at 6'7". I mean, he's more of a center size for high school, but of course a very athletic player for his size. We've seen him at the top of the key, Gio, but you can definitely expect him to work more and more in the paint. Probably the only guy that can get his shots up in the inside, considering the height of the centers and forwards for the CNS North Stars. And Noah Wyzork, Gerard Hills, both listed at 6'4" and 6'6", respectively.
A lot of height on the floor tonight. A lot taller than you and I, Kyle.
Absolutely. And I consider myself maybe a little above average height.
Paragon over to Bonin, left wing. The North Stars trail by one once again. 21-20 is your score. Velasco. And a ghost in the corner as the North Stars turn it over. Just some miscommunication on display. And we'll see if that proves to be costly. Every possession seems like it's going to count tonight in the game we're in. Look at Vincenzo Latanzio clapping his hands off the bench, trying to bring the energy.
You have to rein him in right now. It feels like they're just pushed by the pace of the FM Hornets, and you won't see that miscommunication often.
Davidson pulls up for three, almost got it, rolled off the rim like a toilet bowl. Paragon right wing, Seichin left open, top of the key three, too strong. High rebound here for Wyzorek. Back to Seichin, Velasco to Bonin in the corner, and the North Stars can attack again. Feed inside, Wyzorek to the tin, contested layup, and the North Stars bite back.
And that's the court vision the North Stars need tonight for Bonin to drive baseline and see Wyzorek on the other end.
Davidson in the corner, Medill. Feed inside Rowe. Wyzorek tight defense. Davidson top of the key. Nucerino right wing. Tipped away to Davidson. Davidson has an alley and just a lucky bounce there. The Hornets take the lead once again.
With Wyzorek brought out to the wing, you see that the inside was left empty, and so the lane was wide open. FM Hornets executing perfectly on the inside.
Bonin a drive, dish off to Wyzorek. Wyzorek went up strong, blocked away. Nucerino up the floor, Medill. Medill corner feed, Isaac Frechette wants a triple off the rim, no good. Velasco pulls it down for CNS. Now Bonin up the floor, the Euro step, the finish, the finger roll, Brian Bonin. And the North Stars take the lead right back.
Bonin averaging 16 points per game, 2 3-pointers. But man, is he finishing on the inside. His vision is just fantastic tonight.
Medill feed off to Davidson, and they'll slow things down. Trevor Rowe there. Back to Medill. Rowe the screen. Medill, Frechette a cut. And Medill will just pop one in the face of Noah Wyzorek, silencing the CNS crowd. That was a big one.
As the court falls to a hush, that's going to be one of the many three-pointers you'll see from Medill tonight. Also a leader on the team for three-pointers per game.
Seichin kicked out Velasco, thought about a three, back to Seichin, open at the top. Off the rim, no good. Bonin an offensive board. Foul's called. Count it. Brian Bonin at the line. An opportunity for a three-point play.
Bonin, the 6'2" guard, playing like a big man tonight, forcing his way through. He gets a ton of rebounds well. He just plays so well with his size, Gio.
And listen to head coach Kyle Martin coach up his team right now. Bonin, the free throw would take the lead, tied at 26, 1:50 to go. Bonin lets it fly, and he hits. The free throw shooting from this team much improved from week 1 to week 0, you should say, the end of the season. And a fantastic output from the charity stripe has been a big reason as to why the North Stars have won so many games down the stretch of this season. Frechette on the right wing. Gives it off left side, Holcraft. Back to Medill. Seichin's there with a hand. Wyzorek there as well. Medill right wing. Attacks at Wyzorek. Creates some separation. Gives it off for Frechette in a cross-court pass. Rowe is forced to chuck one up late in the shot clock. Wyzorek tried to pull it down and will head the other way. Last touched by James Medill. Great defense for the North Stars.
Absolutely, and a heads-up play for Wyzork to finish the play right there, tipping off the FM player.
Inbound Bonin, and here comes Seichin. A minute to go before the half, Kyle. 1 point lead for the North Stars, and what a game we had. Bonin out to Paragon. Now Velasco pulling it away, Seichin. Paragon at the top. Crossover dribble. Seichin the pump fake. Drive inside, and it's picked off by Isaac Frechette. Medill up the floor, going at Paragon. Rolled it off the rim. Wyzork the tough rebound. North Stars 2-on-1, but there to take it away is Michael. Feed inside, Velasco picks it off. Trying to find Bonin up the floor, kicks it off Paragon. Paragon a drive, going at Frechette. Too strong, Bonin the rebound. And oh my, Kyle, fast-paced basketball.
Catch your breath. It's going to be like this all night. A blistering pace from the FM Hornets, and the North Stars seemingly following. Although they do have the lead right now, I think what Bonin doing right now is slowing down the game. You know, they have to be able to do that. Coach Martin very demanding of his players. They want that last shot.
North Stars can hold for it. 7 seconds to go. Bonin off to Velasco, now with 5. Velasco with 3. Velasco the hook shot, no. 1 second to go, and that will be the end of an incredible first half of basketball here at Cicero North Syracuse High School. 27-26 is a 1 point lead for CNS, Kyle. Back and forth. This has arguably been the best game we've had this year. Absolutely,
back and forth. And like I said, you shouldn't have expected it either. The North Stars walked away with a 65-47 win in their last matchup earlier in the season, and the North Stars are 3-2 in their last 5 matchups. It seemed on the paper that the North Stars would have an absolute advantage coming into this, but the FM Hornets stating otherwise, Gio.
And FM putting up one great fight of their own, Kyle. Trevor Rowe, that height advantage, 6'7" down low, the tallest guy on the floor tonight. But it's been the ball movement with the guards. Really impressed with what Luke Davidson has to offer. Isaac Frechette coming off the bench. Joshua Michael has hit a couple, and James Medill hit a couple as well.
Absolutely, and you have to notice the range of sizes on the court for the FM Hornets. Obviously, when you have guys like Trevor Rowe at 6'7", the forward sophomore, I mean, it's crazy. And then you look at their floor general, a 5'2" junior guard, and Luke Davidson, both of them averaging about 12 points per game. Yet, at the end of the day, the average heights for both squads are 6'1", considered taller for the section, and so we have quite the amount of size on the court tonight.
The North Stars and the FM Hornets, a fantastic first half of basketball. We will take a brief break here on the CNS Athletics North Star Network. Don't go anywhere. A whole half of basketball left to be played. We got a good one for you. 27-26 is the lead for CNS after 2 quarters. Thanks so much for tuning in. As always, Giovanni Heater alongside Kyle Marshak. We'll see you at about the 2-minute mark in the halftime break. Don't go anywhere. The North Stars on top of the Hornets by 1. Welcome back here on the North Star Network, presented by CNS Athletics. Giovanni Heater with you alongside Kyle Marshak in a fantastic first half of basketball here in the CNS Gymnasium. After it all, the North Stars lead it 27-26 over the FM Hornets, Kyle. The North Stars had a little bit of a slow start and then were able to fight their way back. FM just lost a little bit of control as well. Nonetheless, it's been high-paced basketball, guys flying up and down the floor, bodies flying everywhere. What do both teams need to do to close out, possibly stretch out a lead here in half number 2?
Well, it's been a defensive matchup, Gio. Both teams allow exactly 53.8 points per game, so obviously both teams have elite defense in this Section 3 basketball. But for the North Stars, obviously they need to improve their offense in order to get over that hump. With that being said, I think the shot selection has been a problem. You see guys forcing up from deep or forcing up shots on the inside that are just not needed. You saw that shot where Bonin threw one up in transition. They need to slow the game down because of that and execute on the inside. Meanwhile, for the Hornets, I think the biggest thing is to increase movement off the screens that they're doing. Obviously, they have an elbow-to-elbow screen action, a lot of handoffs at the top of the key. If they create some space on the inside, you'll see a lot more of execution for them. Their defense has been fantastic, though.
And I think the biggest token to talk about after half number 1 is, oh my, the energy in this building is absolutely incredible. Marshak, it's almost like we forgot what it's like to be at a true sporting event. No longer does all the energy need to come from the bench, and the energy from the bench has been plentiful. But fans in the stands, cheerleaders, Kyle, it almost brings a tear to your eye. It feels like normalcy once again in the world of high school sports.
I mentioned it before, I don't want you to jinx it, but here we are with, hundreds of people in this stadium right now. We have 10 minutes up on the clock, and man, am I ready for some more basketball.
27-26 as the clock changes to 8 minutes. I was wondering. I was like, I'm pretty sure it's 8-minute quarters. We've been doing this all year, and it moves back down to 8. Here we go. The North Stars and the Hornets. Half number 2 underway on the North Star Network. Ryan Bonin right side, gives it off. Paragon pulls up, hand in his face, and Luke Paragon connects from deep once again. The North Stars stretch the lead, their largest of the day, by way of 4.
Paragon leads the squad with 16.8 points per game, and man, is this 3 developed so well. This kid is so well-rounded in this game. Look for him to drive a little bit more often as well.
Hornets looking for a much-needed response. Medill at the top, down to 10 seconds on the shot clock. Medill pulls up. Hills is there with the defense, and an offensive rebound for Davidson. Nucerino a drive on Velasco. Nucerino slicing his way into the lane, putting it up and in.
Notice Nucerino finding his lane to the rim and executing on the inside because they created space, a lot of rotation in the paint, and that backcourt was wide open.
Bonin, a drive of his own, left it too strong. Bonin gets his miss, rattles it home off the window. Brian Bonin has been all over the place tonight, Kyle. I've never seen so many offensive rebounds by a point guard.
And that is absolutely necessary for the North Stars to win tonight. All the size at the top of the key is going to lead them for another win.
FM in need of a bucket. Medill off the kick out. Three-pointer, no good. Nucerino the board. Nucerino lays it up and in, and FM needed that one. Draws it back to a 2-point game.
And Nucerino has quietly kept the Hornets in the game tonight. You notice that he kicked that ball out and then picked up the rebound from the miss and finished. That is a huge play right there.
Bonin baseline drive. Kicks it out. Dialing it up is Velasco. Off the front of the rim. No good. Trevor Rowe fights for the board. And now the Hornets can tie or take the lead depending on a field goal.
And notice the lack of presence in the center in the 6'6 junior of Gerard Hills. Usually a guy who's stand out, but tonight a little bit quiet. Look for him to get a little bit more physical on the inside and make some changes for the North Stars.
Davidson left the 3 short. Wazorik's there to pull it away. Under 6 minutes to go, quarter number 3, North Stars lead it by 2. Paragon a drive. Paragon the floater. Paragon rattles it home. Kyle, he is just so good at playing basketball.
You know Paragon's feeling himself if he's forcing up shots like that. A 4-point lead for the North Stars and a statement bucket right there for Luke Paragon.
Medill off to Davidson. Hornets down 4. Davidson kicks it back out. Medill. Medill left side. All the way, swung ball, skip pass, Davidson connects, and he was left open by the North Stars. Davidson made him pay.
Brian Bonin went down really hard in the backcourt that time and took his time getting up. You can't blame him, but that left the guy wide open for the Hornets. A huge bucket for them right there.
Velasco out to Azoric. Now it's Paragon. North Stars up by 1. Paragon a drive. Whistle's blown. And the foul is on the floor. Bucket wouldn't have counted. North Stars to inbound, I believe. And yes, that will be the case.
And that's all part of Paragon's playing style. 6'4" guard, but man does he use his size driving to the inside. All of his speed headed straight to the rim. He loves to drive, and because of that, he draws a lot of fouls, Gio. 3.6 free throws per game, and he leads the squad in that category.
Off the trigger. Quick one by Paragon, and he's fouled. A 3-point foul, so Joshua Michael will let Luke Paragon head to the charity stripe. He will put up 3.
Paragon feeling burning hot right now if he's throwing up more shots from the wing like that. I mean, that's a step back 3 off the inbound. I mean, the North Stars pushing the pace right now.
Paragon quick to pull the trigger, and he hits the first free throw. Paragon at the line for the second, and it's good. North Stars are lights out and red hot from the free throw line.
Again, Coach Martin very demanding of his players. You have to rein them in for the small stuff too, and that includes the free throws.
And 3 for 3 from the charity stripe as Luke Paragon makes the Hornets pay for the foul. Medill up the floor, gives it off Isaac Frechette. Top of the key, Trevor Rowe. Rowe with a drive on Paragon. Rowe with a forced up shot of his own. Offensive rebound, Jack Nucerino. And now a fresh shot clock for FM. Trevor Rowe inside, kick out to Isaac. Now left side, Medill. And Medill will slow it down again. Great defense out of the North Stars. Open elbow shot, and splashing the net that time is Luke Davidson, the leading scorer of the team. That was a big one. Brian Bonin tried to force one up off his own, and Trevor Rowe was there to scoop it up. North Stars up by 2. FM with a stop that they need. Davidson a drive, spins around, can't finish, and Bonin's there for CNS. Bonin coast to coast, Bonin off the rim, no good, and Nucerino pulls it away.
Bonin displaying the layup package, but he couldn't finish with the size on the inside for the FM Hornets.
Great defense, Paragon, just to put his hands up, making Trevor Rowe try and go around him. He couldn't finish. Ball's last touch by the North Stars. We will stay here. And the Hornets to inbound.
And notice the defensive effort on the inside for the North Stars. If you're holding off guys in the 6'7" Trevor Rowe, you're certainly utilizing your size to its fullest ability. And obviously with the textbook defense that Coach Martin has instilled in his players off that front court, it's going to work against guys who have the size advantage like Trevor Rowe.
Top of the key, Davidson. Davidson spinning around, finds Medill in the corner, and he hits! James Medill, the senior guard, has been doing it all for FM from beyond the arc.
James Medill only 4th in the statistic for points per game for the Hornets, but man has he been burning hot, a guy that they needed to be present all season, and here he is.
Velasco, 3-pointer off the mark. Trevor Rowe pulls it down. FM takes the lead, 1 point. Isaac Frechette in the corner. And he pulls it out to slow things down. Back and forth kind of ball game. And the second half is picked up right where the first one left off. Luke Davidson, quick trigger. Too strong.
Just a shot the Hornets don't need right now, forcing the ball up from the top of the key off of no movement too.
Bonin feet inside, taken away by Rowe. Nucerino up the floor. Left to right on your screen, it's Frechette in the corner. Up to Nucerino. Now Rowe once again, 2.5 to play. Back to Medill. Nucerino at the top. And the North Stars with some good defense. Trevor Rowe makes me eat my words as he slices his way into the lane, pisses it off the window, making it look easy with his 6'7" stature.
And notice the energy off the Hornets bench. A timeout for Coach Martin. He has to run things over.
40-37. The Hornets stung back at the North Stars and took a 3-point lead. 2 minutes to play in quarter number 3. Kyle, how many lead changes have we had tonight? It's got to be up into double digits.
Well, it started off with a lead for the first 8 minutes for the Hornets, and then coming into the second quarter, the North Stars made a change. They moved the ball more, they pushed the pace up the court, and executed on the inside, although it was a little bit colder of a second quarter, and it was almost tied coming into the second half, and all of a sudden it's been back and forth. So, man, are we entertained at broadcasters, but you have to imagine what the crowd is feeling right now, Gio. It's heating up in here with a 3-point lead for the FM Hornets.
Coach Kyle Martin, Coach Brandon Hanks, Coach Beth Bonin, Coach Lucas Tusi. I mean, everybody on each sideline coaching staff has their hands full tonight. How do you stop the other team? How do you play defense? And how do you score? It's that kind of game. We could go down to the wire here in the CNS gym tonight. And we've seen a couple of nail-biters. It's March Madness, Kyle. We'll see what happens.
Absolutely. I feel like it's a fever. Just everyone gets it, and Syracuse playing with that type of play today. You and I were watching it live. Fortunately, Virginia walked away with that in their favor. Of course, a buzzer beater. So it's all part of March Madness, Gio, and perhaps we'll see another one here at CNS High School.
You said to me today at halftime of that game, I haven't seen a buzzer beater in a long time. Well, it's March, and crazier things have happened. We'll see how this one transpires. Robbie Seitz into the tin, no good. Wazorek the putback. He can't finish. That's a costly mistake for the North Stars. A good effort by Wazorek, just couldn't put it in. Under 2 minutes to play, FM up by 3.
Again, a lack of spacing on the inside is the North Stars' problem right now. They need to be able to execute.
Frechette to the tin, knifing his way through the defense of the North Stars, right to the tooth. And he pokes one in, 42-37, the largest lead we've seen in the second half by either squad. Paragon lost control, foul is called. Coach Lucas Tusi can't believe it. Paragon will shoot 2.
Paragon, again, so good at drawing those fouls. That'll be fundamental to the North Stars' success tonight. If he keeps driving in, those are 3 points for him.
They'll say a foul on the floor. The fans here at CNS can't believe it. I thought he was shooting as well, if I'm being completely honest, but Wazorek out to Seitchin instead. Under a minute and a half, North Stars down 5. A swing both ways. Velasco, the floater, no good. Gets his own miss, puts it back up. The third time's the charm for the North Stars as Noah Wazorek is there to clean up the mess.
Wazorek's been quiet all night, but perhaps that's his game tonight, just rebounding. And he is usually a glass cleaner for the North Stars. One of his first rebounds tonight and a perfect putback play.
Medill kicks it out, Davidson. Davidson a spin, Trevor Rowe top of the key. Rowe going at Wazorek, back to Davidson, 15 on the shot clock. Davidson lost it off his foot, clapping his hands. Mental mistake, and the North Stars catch a break as they'll get the ball back.
You have to use all of your speed if you're Luke Davidson coming into this North Stars defense. Of course, both squads very tall at 6'1" in Section 3 athletics, but it has to be intimidating coming into a 6'4" forward, Noah Wazorek, and a 6'6" center in Gerard Hills. Of course, they have their 6'7" guy, Trevor Rowe, who's that 1-2 punch alongside the 5'10" guard senior in Luke Davidson. So a lot of dynamics to look at here with the size, the athleticism, so much speed on the court tonight.
A low-scoring affair compared to the fact that we've seen the North Stars put up almost 90 points right here in this gym just a week ago, and now they have 35, 46 seconds left in the third quarter. Definitely a defensive matchup. A little bit of sloppy play, but that's what you love. That's basketball in March.
Well, absolutely. I mean, it's a back-and-forth matchup. I think both teams are playing a really tough man-to-man defense, and of course, both teams average 53.8 points per game allowed. So, with that being said, of course it's going to be a defensive matchup, Gio. With that, combined with the size on both squads, you had to expect it.
I'd love to see Reese Conjal get going for the North Stars. If they can get him going on the interior, off the bench, this could be a spark that this team needs right now. Had a couple of defensive blocks down low. We'll see how the rest of this game transpires. 46.3 on the clock in the third. North Stars down 3, and they have the ball.
Absolutely. If anybody's going to put the keys in the ignition for the North Stars right now, it would be Reese Conjal off the bench.
Luke Paragon could do it as well. One of the most dynamic scorers in the SCAC conference. Paragon to Seitchin. Back to Paragon left wing. Feed inside Wazorek, and he pulls it out. Here's Paragon, Frechette looming. Velasco will do a drive on Davidson, puts up the floater, no good, fighting for the rebound. The Hornets swarm, and it's Frechette up the floor right side. Gets it up to Medill. 13 seconds, shot clock is dead in the third quarter. FM leads by 3. A chance to extend it here. They can hold for the final shot. Frechette downtown, off the rim, no good. Seichin with 3, Seichin with 2, with 1, feeds it to Velasco, and that was just a couple of too many passes. Seichin should have let it fly from half court. Nonetheless, the North Stars will head into the fourth quarter, down by 3, and what a turn of events for the Hornets, because they were down to the North Stars by 1 at halftime. The North Stars got up by as many as 4. FM completely flipped the script.
Absolutely, it's been back and forth. FM making a lot of changes. Obviously, the defense has been a consistency, but you notice that the offensive ability has changed a little bit. I think they are taking a little bit from my words and creating space on the inside, so you notice that they're executing on the inside despite the size advantage in the paint for the North Stars at 6'4", forward with Wyzork, and of course the 6'6" center Gerard Hills. I'll say their names all night. They're so good at cleaning the glass, they're so good at defending, and they'll be present all night.
8 minutes, Kyle, and it just kind of has that March Madness feel to it. How incredible we have the opportunity to call this game here. Tightest matchup we've seen in both boys and girls basketball all year. And 8 minutes left to go on the clock. We'll see what the fate of CNS and the Hornets are. Hornets can even up their script at 6-6 with a win tonight. CNS could move on to 8-3 and lock up third place in the SCAC Metro.
Notice Robbie Seichin for the North Stars has gotten a ton of minutes tonight. The 5'10" junior guard. It's his first year, but man, has he gotten his minutes off the bench, although to what effect is what the question is tonight. Very quiet on the court.
Frechette right wing. Gives it up, Christopher Holcraft. Davidson cutting to the tin, kick out Rowe. Rowe wants 3, and he gets it. Trevor Rowe from downtown, and that was a dagger.
Trevor Rowe, the tallest man in the court at 6'7", the young sophomore, plays at the forward position, but it looks like he could play anywhere. I mean, shooting from the top of the key, defense on the inside. This kid has so much athletic ability at 6'7".
That stretched the lead to 6. Now down by 4 are the North Stars off the Noah Wyzork bucket. 7 minutes to play. Deep 3, off the mark. Velasco the rebound. The North Stars have numbers. Velasco right side. Cross court pass, Seichin. Seichin driving, and he gets his shot blocked by Medill. Pass was taken away. Davidson a drive. Frechette left open in the corner. Left it way short. Wyzork pulls it away. And Velasco with it for CNS. Under 7 to play.
Again, Seichin just can't compete with the size and the experience on the court tonight. The 5'10" guard. So when he drives baseline, you know, it's just a shot or play that he'll have to force up. I think if he uses his speed to rotate, create space on the inside, perhaps more offensive opportunities for the North Stars if Coach Martin elects to keep him on the court.
Lucerino back into the game for FM, and he is one of the quickest players on the court tonight. A lot of athletes on the floor. Conjol, corner 3, missed it all. And here comes FM up the floor with a 4-point lead, 45-41. 6.5 to play. North Stars need a stop to cut into that lead. Davidson steps back, gives it out Rowe. Hand in his face, 3! And Trevor Rowe has taken over the ball game, Kyle. Back-to-back triples, and the Hornets sting the North Stars.
Heating up, top of the key, moving that ball, and he hits the dagger.
Paragon can't finish. Rowe pulls it away, and he's feeling himself tonight. Davidson up the floor, coast to coast, lays it in, the bucket, the foul, the contact, and the bench explodes for FM.
Towels flying, chairs falling. Man, the energy off the bench for the Hornets. It's just contagious, Gio.
The ref told them to calm it down. I mean, that's sports. Let them keep going. Bringing the energy.
Hey, let the kids play is what they say, right?
And Davidson can make it a 10-point game with this shot. He does. Just like that, FM explodes to a 10-point advantage over CNS with 6 minutes to play. Not over yet. North Stars creating some energy of their own, but they're in desperate need of a bucket. Here's Conjol, back to Bonin. Bonin going at Davidson, to the tin, foul's called. Bonin can't finish, but he is automatic from the free throw line.
Yeah, this will be a huge possession for the North Stars to make sure they finish on these free throws. And then, of course, coming down the court, they have to look ahead. They have to be a couple steps ahead of this very fast and blistering team in the FM Hornets and make sure that they get the stop on the other end. So you trust that Bonin can finish right here, although we've had a couple broadcasters curses before, excuse me.
Not this time. Bonin hits the first. We'll see about the second. 5:50 to go. North Stars down 9, and it was blistering fast. And Bonin goes 2 for 2. Timeout on the floor. Coach Kyle Martin wants to talk things over. Kyle, what do you think he's saying to his team at the moment?
Well, I think the problem all game is controlling the pace of the game. Obviously, the Hornets pushing up and down the court. You can't control that. But when they get the ball, the shot selection, you can't force up shots in the middle of that defense, especially with the 6'7" Trevor Rowe on the inside. You just can't afford to drive every time. Maybe moving the ball from the top of the key, some high ball screens, elbow-to-elbow movement, handoffs. You need the guys to be moving from the top of the key in order to create the space, in order to finish on the inside or hit daggers from outside.
5:50 left to go. 43-51 is your score. FM leads it by 8, Kyle. And FM on the other side, Coach Lucas Tucci trying to encourage them to keep the energy up. 5:50 to go. The North Stars in need of a couple of stops here.
Absolutely. I think the energy has been infectious for the Hornets, but the North Stars answering on that last possession. You know, all the players on the bench yelling for those guys to be locked down, get a huge possession. They did right there. Bonin doing his job, getting to the inside, forcing up a bucket. Of course, he couldn't finish with the fouls and the contact, but of course he hits both. That's really his game. He's been impressive all season. He'll continue to do so with the last game after this. They visit Liverpool.
And up the floor come the Hornets. Spin move and the finish. Joshua Michael extends the lead back to 10.
The Hornets are not playing like a below 500 team right now. Look at the energy off the bench. Look at the execution on the court.
Bonin, hands in the face of the North Stars. Some of the best defense we've seen all year. Bonin, spin move. Feed to the inside. Wazorek off the window and in. The North Stars needed that one, and it's back to an 8-point game.
And there it is. I called it. I mean, you see the screens moving. Space on the outside. Bonin sees a lane, and he finishes. A huge play right there for the North Stars.
Right side, Davidson, and he can't miss. A big shot from the right elbow. The Hornets back to 10.
That's a huge response right there.
Conjal other end, too strong with it. And now FM up 10 has the ball back once again.
And they like to slow the game down right here. Of course, they've controlled the pace all night.
Davidson a drive, going at Conjal. Off the window, no good. Bonin the rebound. And the energy in here is fantastic, but the North Stars starting to deplete. Bonin downtown, off the mark. Wazorek pulls it away. Now Paragon. In the corner, it's Reese. Feed to Luke. Luke spins, puts the floater up. Foul's called. He'll head to the line for 2. Down 10, could cut it to 8. 4:28 left to go. North Stars running out of time here, needs some stops. It's this end of the floor, but it's especially that end of the floor.
Absolutely. I think the defense is extremely important. For some reason, something has came over the Hornets tonight. Their offensive ability has just been fantastic. Luke Davidson, 5'10", much shorter than the average height in the court tonight at 6'1" for both squads. And so you have to imagine what came over him in order to hit all these shots, especially with Reese Conjal defending him. A spark off the bench for the CNS North Stars, a young sophomore forward at 6'4". Not a tough, or not an easy guy, to put those daggers over.
Leads to 8. Paragon hit both from the line. Trevor Rowe left open for 3. Off the rim, no good. Tried to chase his miss. Fighting for the rebound. There is Nucerino, pulls it out. And now Davidson has a fresh shotty. Gets it off Nucerino, top of the key. He'll do a drive at Conjal. Conjal lost control, but got a little out of position. Nonetheless, Nucerino couldn't finish. Paragon on the other end, and will get a blocking foul called. It will be off the ball. I don't believe the North Stars are in the bonus. They are, so we will get 2 from the line from Luke Paragon.
Again, Paragon, a guy who uses all of his size when forcing his way to the rim, and so you see a lot of fouls drawn by him. Him and, of course, his counterpart in the 1-2 punch for the North Stars with Brian Bonin. Of course, that third guy in the court, Kevin Velasco, the senior guard at 6'3", it's his 3rd year in varsity. He's been a little quiet tonight. Look for him to heat up coming into this final minutes. Definitely a guy who should be there, to tack away these points and be the presence there. But for now, Paragon with his 2nd free throw.
Paragon hits both. Draws it now. 55-49 is the lead. Back to within 6 for the North Stars. They got to stop at this end like they needed. 3:53 to go, Kyle. What's Kyle Martin addressing to his squad right now?
Well, I think it's the defensive problems now. Obviously, they started to move the ball on offense, so that'll come into play. But right now, it's getting those stops on defense. The Hornets with the possession right now, I think they need to be locked down, make sure they don't give any lanes to the bucket, and of course, they have to step up on the perimeter. They've been hitting shots from deep all night. It's going to be a huge problem down the stretch with 3.5 to go. Of course, the Hornets going to have to hit some huge shots over these tall defenders in the North Stars.
3:53, the North Stars within 6. 2 3-pointers with Ty. It sits at a 2-possession game, more like a 3-possession game though. And some stops defensively are going to be crucial. Have to lock off Trevor Rowe because he's shown that he can stretch the floor, hit from deep, and also finish inside.
Him and, of course, Davidson has been the perfect floor general tonight. And you have to remember James Medill, if he gets back on the court, has been absolutely deadly from the wing.
Here's Frechette, top of the key, New Sereno, a pump fake, attacks at Gerard Hills. Great defense for the North Stars, will stay here, but Gerard Hills and Noah Wazorek were there to send it away.
Huge slot right there for Gerard Hills. He's been quiet all night, but he does lead the team in blocks, so expect him to do that more down the stretch with 3.5 to go. FM lead.
Davidson to inbound. Michael attacking, off the rim, rolled away, North Stars get a stop. Bonin up the floor. Bonin pulls up, deep 2, dead in his tracks, no good. Hill the rebound. Paragon's there right wing. Feed to the inside, Gerard. Gerard off to Bonin. Bonin rising up, and he finishes. Brian Bonin explodes to the rim. North Stars within 4.
Bonin, 16 points per game, but his defensive ability is underrated. Watch him get locked down right here for the North Stars.
Davidson going at Hills, creating separation, off to Frechette. Frechette a drive, off the rim and in. A big shot from Isaac Frechette. Silences the crowd just a little bit. Velasco right wing, Paragon top of the key. Going at Isaac, off to Bonin. Bonin wants 3. Off the front of the rim, no good. Rebound Frechette. And the North Stars, they need a stop again. Velasco dove at it, and a foul against Kevin Velasco.
You have to applaud the defensive effort for Velasco right there. He's been quiet all night, but his defensive ability has been there, you know. Not a ton of guys hitting huge shots over him, and of course, he's been comfortable with that because of his height, his athletic ability. Of course, the offensive ability will have to come now with 2.5 to go. He needs some guys to step up. Reese Conjul's there. Noah Wizork's been quiet, and so is Gerard Hills.
Paragon and Bonin need to continue to find the shot. Get the ball inside. A 3-pointer could go a long way right now. North Stars back down 6 off of a huge bucket from Isaac Frechette. Hornets also have the ball after Tussi's timeout. 2:38 left to go on the clock. Still a lot of time, but empty possessions have added up here.
Absolutely.
Because the North Stars got a couple of shots. They were within 4. That was a need for a bucket.
And you have to question the shot selection of Brian Bonin right now, a guy who lacks no confidence, but that's 3 possessions in a row that he forced up shots early in the shot clock with hands in his face. You have to imagine Coach Martin, a very experienced coach, 82-53 record as a coach at SUNY Purchase, certainly telling his players to slow things down right now and force up the shots that they have to.
2.5 to play. Best game we've seen all year. To the tin and making it look easy is Joshua Michael. Lead back up to 8 for FM.
Last time the North Stars played the Hornets, a 65-47 win. A different story tonight. The defensive ability absolutely on display for the Hornets.
Bonin got a little bit of separation, spins around, tries to find an open teammate. It's Velasco. Velasco a drive, the floater, off the rim, no good. Hills poked it away, but instead it's New Sereno up the court. 2-on-2. Frechette thought about a 3, a pump fake, now a drive on Paragon. Kick out, triple, downtown, off the front of the rim, no good. Michael couldn't finish. North Stars still down 8, 1:45 left to go. Bonin right wing, Wazorek going at New Sereno. Tooth of the defense, whistles blown, the foul. The North Stars needed that.
A chance to bring it back within a 2-possession game right here. Wazork's been quiet all night on the offensive side of the ball, but that's his game right there, slowing it down. He's 6'4". He can use his size on the inside, and he does right there, drawing the foul.
Wazorek with a free throw could make it a 5-point game. And he does. Effortless from the charity stripe for the North Stars tonight once again.
huge bucket right there, and 30 seconds for both teams to run things over. Coach Martin certainly wants these guys to capitalize on defensive ability. Meanwhile, the Hornets, they need to hit another dagger. 5-point lead, they need to slow the game down. You have to imagine they'll do so. Maybe we'll see some fouls down the stretch. 1:40 to go, the clock is ticking.
59-54 is the lead. North Stars in a 2-possession game. Plenty of time, but they need a stop defensively. FM looking to put the final nail in the coffin.
You and I have made the analogy before. It's like a boxing match, these guys trading back and forth. The North Stars have been knocked down by a 10-point lead. They get that standing 8 count. Can they recover, Gio? Can they recover?
They're doing a good job of fighting back. And we'll see who delivers that final knockout punch. Good trap for the North Stars. Bonin all over Davidson. He gets it off. Finally across midcourt. Now Davidson. Velasco's there, pushing up. He poked it free, and a reach-in foul is called. I mean, that looked like it was all ball. We're right here. It's right in front of us. There was a reach, don't get me wrong. But anyways, FM to inbound.
Velasco not happy with that, but he's ready to defend. That's the mentality of the North Stars. Lock it down. Coach Martin has instilled it in them. And look at the defensive effort from Luke Paragon.
Paragon almost got it away, and another foul here. Coach Tucci just telling Davidson to control himself, manage the basketball.
Tucci also demanding of his players. They just want to slow the game down right now, make sure they get this ball off.
Into Frechette, 1:21 to go. Another foul. It goes against Brian Bonin. They're not letting him play at all. I mean, that's 3 quick fouls in a row. That could put FM in the bonus quickly here. The North Stars with 4 fouls, FM with 8. Medill checks in here. We know he's very capable of slinging the ball from deep.
If anyone's going to hit a dagger, it would be James Medill.
And Conjol fouls.
I think now it's evident that the intent for Coach Martin is to slow the game down, get the fouls, and make sure they get possession. Maybe initially it wasn't, although Velasco with a great defensive effort and a tic-tac foul called on him.
Here's Medill. Great defense from Paragon. Another foul is called. I've never seen so many fouls in a row, Kyle. This is just a little absurd. Paragon wasn't trying to foul there. It looked like the one intentional foul was from Reese. Medill to inbound. Gets it in. Michael. Michael is fouled by Bonin.
Now you have to start counting the fouls for these players. Bonin has had a few.
Well, now it's in the bonus as well.
Paragon's had a couple as well. You have to start counting. Make sure nobody's fouling out down the stretch. A minute to go. So only so much clock for the North Stars to get in this next possession.
Joshua Michael, 6'3", senior guard, to make it a 6-point game. On the 1-and-1, he does. So still a 2-possession contest for the North Stars. One more would make it 3. 1:07 to play. This is a big shot right here. And it falls. 61-54, the Hornets lead. Timeout on the floor. Kyle Martin wants to talk things over. And Kyle, the North Stars still with an opportunity. Those fouls got a little bit chaotic. 61-54. Now you find yourself down 7. They need to start shooting the ball from 3.
Absolutely. I think all these foul shots have really come together. The North Stars have been really excellent down the stretch. The Hornets as well. And so with that, these few points have collected up to all of a sudden that 1 point that has made it a 3-possession game. And so the North Stars, I think they're relying on this possession right here to keep themselves in it with only 67 seconds to go. Of course, they really have to convert with a big bucket right here. I have to imagine that they're going to force their way to the rim, as they have all night, maybe draw some fouls. It'll be a back-and-forth matchup with all these fouls, of course. A fight for possession as the clock ticks away.
One more game left on the schedule here for the CNS North Stars, and that comes on Saturday. You and I will be on the call, 3 o'clock tip-off, but for now, 1:07 left on the clock. The Hornets trying to avenge a prior 2 loss to CNS and extend to 500 on the season. The North Stars trying to make a miracle happen. Down 7 with a minute to play. But this is March, and this is basketball. Off to Paragon. Deep 3. Highly contested. Velasco picks it up, lays it in. Now down 5.
A quick bucket. That's what they need right there.
Full court press, and a foul is called. So at the line for a 1-and-1 will be Josh Michael.
Five-point game. These free throws are pivotal right here for the success of the North Stars down the next 55.2 seconds.
Michael's first is off the mark. That's just what the North Stars needed. A miss on a 1-and-1 on the front end. And they got it. Conjul pulls up for three. And Reese Conjul hits it. Kyle, the North Stars are within two. And suddenly, the entire game has just changed. Reese Conjul, we talked about it earlier, that spark, and he hit a big one.
If anyone was going to do it, it was Reese Conjul, the youth off the bench. Man, he brings that energy, and does he bring that clutch gene? 2-point game, the North Stars with a huge possession right here. They have to be locked down on the other end of the court.
Oh my goodness, 41.3 on the clock. 61-59 is the Hornet lead. That was a humongous shot, and it all started with the free throw miss as well.
Absolutely, as I mentioned, that was pivotal to the success of the Hornets, down the stretch. They needed to be able to get that bucket to convert, to make it a three-possession game. All of a sudden, the North Stars run down the court, and who else but the spark off the bench, Reese Conjul, to hit the dagger.
Unbelievable. And just like that, from down 7, the North Stars are within 2.
Reese Conjul only averages 6 points per game. That's half of them right there, and he certainly had some more buckets tonight. So having the game of his night tonight, the defensive ability is there as well. 4 rebounds per game, and he draws fouls. You know, it's all part of the North Stars' genes. You know, they just have it in them. Force their way to the rim. Get the easy buckets, and the shot selection has had its problems tonight with guys who are more confident, like Brian Bonin, but at the end of the day, here they are. 2-point game, 41.3 to go.
A little bit of Lose Yourself by Eminem over the loudspeakers. 41.3 to go on the North Star Network. CNS and FM, balls tipped into the air. New Sereno up the floor. North Stars trying to create a turnover. And getting it across midcourt is Davidson. 30 seconds, 5 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. Up to Medill. Medill a drive, carries it out. 22 on the game clock, 16 shot clock. Cross-court pass. Davidson is there. Bonin's there as well. Drive to the lane, off the mark, whistles blown for the foul. The North Stars can't believe it. Kyle Martin pleading his case. An opportunity for 2, Luke Davidson. He can almost put the game away if he makes both.
Now, if any free throws matter tonight, it's these. He's got to be able to finish. You see him taking the deep breath, but man, the pressure on my shoulders, it feels like almost.
And the first one's no good, Kyle. No matter what, it will be a 1-possession ball game.
That is 2 free throws missed consecutively. The pressure on number 22, Luke Davidson.
Second free throw at the line. Davidson connects. North Stars down 3. They need a 3 to tie. 12 seconds to go. Bonin off to Paragon. He wants it. Off the mark. No good. Velasco tried to save it and will head the other way. That would have tied the game. And now CNS is going to have to foul.
The biggest possession for the North Stars tonight, and they just couldn't execute. Paragon leaves it short. It's a shame to see it. A kid who's executed all season, and when it comes down to one of the final games, he couldn't execute. Man, has he had a hell of a season, though.
Season's not over yet. 1 game to go. 6.7 in this one. Again, it's March.
You never know.
You need another missed free throw.
Exactly. I mean, that's another narrative down the stretch. The Hornets feeling the pressure from a new crowd. The varsity cheerleading team in attendance with us tonight.
CNS is going to come out in a press. And if they can create a turnover, the North Stars still have 6.7 to make something happen. Need to create a turnover here.
Absolutely. I think at this point you have to look turnover first and foul next, although there's only 6.7 seconds on the clock, so they have to be quick thinking.
Joshua Michael to inbound.
Luke Davidson motioning to his players. Think. You have to make some smart plays right here. Trevor Rowe on the other end. They could throw it long to a big guy like him, wide receiver-esque play. That would be clutch for the Hornets to ensure the possession for these final few seconds.
The biggest 6.7 seconds of the season. Michael the inbound. Can't find anybody, has to call a timeout. You only get 5 seconds And Michael knew that his time was coming to a close. Calls a timeout, a smart one. Lucas Tusi can talk things over. Now the good thing if you're FM is you saw what CNS was going to bring defensively. You can adjust. Same thing for CNS, though. They saw what FM was going to do on the inbound play.
Absolutely. I think it's been a back-and-forth mental game, the schematics of both coaches. Bring things down to a pinpoint. And now all of a sudden, 6.7 seconds to go. The North Stars have to get a huge stop right here.
62-59 your score. CNS down 3. Had a shot at it. Clawed their way down 7 with under a minute to go.
Not much to say other than wow.
You almost wish they were more patient on that possession, but at the same time, then they wouldn't have 6.7 left. So, in hindsight, it's 2020. And 62-59 remains the score.
Absolutely. 6.7 seconds to go. That possession, of course, the biggest one for the North Stars tonight. The shot selection has been questionable all night, but man, was that a nice shot with the high ball screen. They couldn't execute, though.
Here we go. Michael the inbound. Pass up the floor, hits the ceiling, and we'll head this way. The North Stars get the ball back. 6.7 seconds, Kyle. Down 3. The North Stars need a triple to tie. 62-59 your score. CNS to inbound. Velasco gets it in. Gerard Hills. Ball's tipped away. Bonin, he sends it up. It's off the window. No good. Rolled in. And Gerard Hills lays it up. That will be.
And no foul called on the inside.
The end of the ball game.
That almost ricocheted in. Confusion at the end of the game.
Brian Bonin almost hit the game-tying shot off of a bank. The North Stars can't believe it. And FM is going to escape with a 62-61 victory. And March is real, Kyle. The
Bonin.
madness is alive.
Bonin wanting to foul at the end of the game. The Hornets celebrating, and that has to be rough. Canizato ripping the shirt off, and the team leaves the locker room. But what a performance. The tenacity from the young players. Nonetheless, a back-and-forth matchup. You have to be proud of the effort.
So 62-61 is your final score, and it's a game of inches, Kyle. And Brian Bonin was an inch off from banking in the game-time 3.
There it was right there. You see the ball at the end of the game, the inbound for the FM Hornets. Hits the ceiling, so it really is a game of inches, or feet, if you will, as that ball was simply thrown too high to get to Trevor on the other end. I called it before. Perhaps they would toss it the other way, get the clock ticking, and that would end the game. But nonetheless, a switch in possession. The North Stars really had a chance to capitalize, but no fouls called is the narrative. The refs certainly had a game in their hands. It's been a back-and-forth matchup. Plenty of fouls called, free throws back and forth that were pivotal. But at the end of the day, Bonin couldn't connect with some hands in his face, and you can't discredit him for it. A lot of people calling for some fouls in the stands, and in a way, I can't help but agree, Gio.
The CNS parents wanted a foul. They were not granted it, and just like that, the North Stars have 1 game left on their season. They fall now to 7-4. FM improves to 6-6 in a slight 62-61 victory. Brian Bonin was inches away from tying it up. Nonetheless, you live to fight another day if you're the North Stars. Plenty of basketball left to be played. 62-61 your final score tonight. You can catch the North Stars back in action on Saturday afternoon, 3 p.m. tip-off right here on the North Star Network. Us two will be on the call as always. So no post-game interview in celebration tonight, Kyle, but again, we have to wrap things up. What are your final remarks?
Well, you have to be proud of the effort. I think it really was a game of inches, but the mentality, it was just so important. The schematics down the stretch for both squads. You saw the man-to-man defense, went down to a game of centimeters almost. For the FM Hornets, they really locked down on D, and I really think that's what won them this game, especially down the stretch. Of course, that final possession, hands in Bonin's face, no fouls called. That's the narrative right now. Fans mad, leaving the stands quickly. A lot of discussions, but at the end of the day, the North Stars with a proud effort. They lose by 1 point, and at the end of the day, I think Bonin should have been the guy to get the shot off, and of course he did. That thing rattled around, and man, it felt like it was up there for minutes.
So FM escapes with a narrow victory, and a lot of notable players to take note of tonight. Joshua Michael played well. James Medill hit a couple of big ones, and I think it all points towards Trevor Rowe who came in averaging 11.7 a game. The 6'7" sophomore forward was fantastic. And the leader, the floor general, the junior, Luke Davidson.
Absolutely. I think something came over the offensive ability of the FM Hornets tonight. They move on to 6-6, and now it's a fight for them to move into 4th place in the SCAC Metro. The North Stars still in 3rd. They can hold on to that with a win against the Liverpool Warriors.
All right. Well, like we said, 3 p.m. on Saturday. We'll see you right here on the North Star Network. So thank you so much to Daryl, our stadium announcer, and our music coordinator, Chris Pilata, our scoreboard operator, Mr. Howell, our stadium manager and facilities manager, Katie, our trainer, athletic director, Tim Bednarski, the CNS varsity cheerleaders, the parents, the fans who made everything happen tonight. It was a special atmosphere for the first time in a really long time here in the CNS gym. So thanks so much to everybody for tuning in. For Kyle Marshak, I'm Giovanni Heater, as always, and we will see you on Saturday, our final broadcast as CNS seniors for basketball. Thanks so much for tuning in. North Stars fall by 1, 62-61 your final. Have a great night, everybody.